Welcome to Self-Powered Healing. I'm Barbara McNeely, your host and the creator of Self-Powered Healing, where we are talking about how you can unleash your innate healing ability. By the way, for this month of November, I've accepted the challenge to publish 30 podcast episodes in 30 days. It's called National Podcast Post Month, or NaPodPoMo for short. It was created by Jennifer Navarrete in 2007, and this year, 2024, is the 17th year of the challenge. Enjoy. In today's episode of Self Powered Healing, I'm going to talk about why it is that we tend to resist healing. In an earlier episode of Self Powered Healing, I talked about Sue and told you about her story of healing from cancer when she'd been told she had 3 years to live back in 1998. She had a number of people that would come to her and ask her questions, wanting to know how they could heal from their own cancer diagnosis. And the first thing she would ask them was, "Do you want to live?" She said that you'd be shocked at how many of the people didn't really have a reply to that question. And she would tell them if they didn't really have an answer, that they were to call her back whenever they figured out their answer. She stressed that your mindset comes first. It seems like a strange concept to me. Why would you resist healing? But in reality, I think we all do it. In preparing for this episode, I've sat and looked at a lot of the reasons, and I could probably go on all day for reasons and excuses that people have for not doing what they know will help them. Procrastination is a very common form of resisting healing, though. It's really easy to rationalize things. You have that treadmill that's gathering dust, the diet or yoga course or the meditation practice you started, but then you put it aside, promising yourself that you'll get back to it one day. Change can be hard, and we often want an easy button. We want change, but we don't want to work at it. Healing can also mean that we have to give up foods or routines or habits that we might enjoy. It could also mean losing friends, something that anyone who has quit smoking or drinking can attest to. Back when I quit smoking, all the people I worked with that were smokers acted like I was a pariah at that point, but that didn't deter me. We might also resist change because the issue we have isn't really a crisis, at least not yet. And we might resist that healing because we doubt that it works. We're a bit skeptic about it. And then I've heard this one from several people, or it's too late for me to change, or I'm too old for anything to change for me. I've even heard, well, I don't deserve it. And also, chronic illness can become a part of someone's identity, especially if it's gone on for many years. Sometimes we enjoy that sympathy and that being cared for that illness offers us. And some people that are on a disability might be concerned they'll risk losing that income source if they're healed. And I've seen this with serious diagnoses such as cancer or after a heart attack. Some people will make the changes to their lifestyle habits, but not everyone will. There's another point of view about all of that related to what society says and what conventional medicine says. Societal norms suggest that, well, we can't really heal, and conventional medicine will insist that you cannot heal without them, even though conventional medicine tends to offer lifelong treatment in the form of drugs rather than an actual cure. Furthermore, conventional medicine teaches us fear. Cancer is scary and often a death sentence. Illness or pain is something to be scared of. Don't believe me? Just watch some of Big Pharma's ads and notice how fear plays a role in their marketing. Well, let's turn that around. Healing is your birthright. You've been spontaneously healing since the moment you were born, if not before. Your first miracle healing happened right after you were born when your umbilical cord was cut. You healed that. Self powered healing is a lifelong journey. It could be hard, but the rewards can be found in a healthier you that benefits both you and your family. In an earlier episode of Self Powered Healing, I talked about Tom Laughlin. I talked also about the ego and the self as defined by Carl Jung. I believe that overcoming resistance to healing is accomplished by letting the self take the lead over the ego. You see, the ego is our brain. It likes to be in charge and it likes to maintain the status quo. In contrast, the self is our heart, which aligns with love. So embracing healing is making a shift to love, to loving yourself enough to work on the changes that will bring healing. Healing for yourself, healing for your family, and healing for our world. Thanks for listening today. If you have any comments on this episode or on the whole NaPodPoMo concept in general, you can visit this page to leave comments. selfpoweredhealing.com/November 2024. You can also find a listing and link for all November's episodes on that same page, selfpoweredhealing.com/November 2024. By the way, Self Powered Healing is still looking for interviews with people who want to share a story of healing. Do you have a healing story? I would love to hear about it and see if maybe you could share it on our show. So if you're interested in sharing, then visit selfpoweredhealing.com/share to schedule a chat. You aren't committing at this point. You're just having a chat with me to see what your story is about. It will be confidential unless or until you decide you want to share. And if you get there and there's not a convenient time for you, send me a message because we'll always find a time. And remember this always. You are a magnificent being with powerful innate healing abilities.